Welcome to our next tutorial on Unity and GitHub. In this tutorial, we'll be talking about handling merge conflicts and how to properly deal with those scenarios. So the first thing I do is open up SourceTree. I fetch from all remotes so that I have all the updated header information, just to make sure that I am on track. I can see that my current branch, Dana W, is already synchronized with master. So I don't need to update anything, but if I did, I would just simply pull from master. Right now, since I'm synced up, I don't have to do anything. So now I go ahead and start working. So I'm going to pop over here to our Visual Studio project. And what I want to do is I have the current up arrow movement for our simple capsule character. I want to add some down arrow movement, as well as left arrow and right arrow. So now I have 4 different sets of movements here, and we'll fix the left arrow and the right arrow movement. So left will be negative along the x-axis, and right will be positive along the x-axis. And for now, I'm going to leave this mistake here. Let's go into Unity, and let's actually play. And since I just added left and right, I'm just going to worry about those. Technically, down arrow does not work. So I've made these changes. Let's say that I didn't notice that bug, and I'm just going to simply merge these changes into the project. So if I jump back here to SourceTree, I can see that there are uncommitted changes. All right, so I need to go ahead and commit those changes, which in this case, if I look down here, was just adding some code to the capsule character. So I will stage all of that because that is exactly what I wanted to commit. And I will simply say added down, left, and right movement to capsule. Commit that. Now that I'm done with this feature, I know that I'm going to need to do a pull request. But before you do that, you want to go ahead and check to make sure that no one has updated master in the meantime. So first, I need to again fetch. Again, that's going to update our header view here and our list of commits from our remote repository. And as you can see here, someone else has updated the master branch. So that means that my branch here, even though I synced it not 5 minutes ago, is now behind the master branch. Before I attempt to do a pull request, I need to go ahead and merge in that new content from master into my branch. So to accomplish that, I'm going to do a pull. Now here's the part that you have to kind of be careful of. When you open up this pull menu, you need to make sure that you change the remote branch to the master. All right, so you're going to take from the master and pull it into our local branch. And now if we click over on file status, we can see that this process of merging automatically initializes a commit. The problem is that we have this unstaged file. And you can see here from this little triangle that there is a merge problem. It is not easy to attempt to merge files using SourceTree, so don't even try. So instead, we want to jump back into Visual Studio, which has a fantastic merge tool. Go over here to the Team Explorer tab, select Sync, and that's going to sync the Visual Studio project with the remote GitHub repository, and it's going to identify that we have a conflict. So select the conflicts link, and that will give you all the files that have a conflict. In this case, we only have one file. Single click on that, and then select Merge. That will then open these nice merging panels. Over here in the upper left-hand side is the remote version. You can see here that it says the master branch. Over here on the upper right is the local branch, and you can see here that is the Dana W branch. Then down here at the bottom, this bottom window actually represents the new combined file that keeps whichever changes you want. All right, I want to keep all the changes that I just made. However, in looking at their code, I notice that this actually doesn't match with my implementation. This negative 2.5 is the correct direction of movement, while my direction of movement over here, 0.25, is actually incorrect. I could select to keep both of these chunks of code, but look at how the merge system works at the bottom. It actually kept both of those chunks as unique chunks. All right, that's not quite what I want, but that's an option. So you can keep none of that code. You can keep the code from the master branch. You can keep the code from your local branch, or you can actually change code down in this bottom window to keep the best of both. So that's what I'm going to do. Realizing that this code is correct and my code is wrong, I'm going to fix the code that I have down here. So it's relatively straightforward. We go to where the down arrow is, and I simply add in the minus sign so that the down arrow now works in the negative direction. So now that I've corrected this merged version, I accept the merge. And now when I go back to that capsule character file, I can see it has the up arrow and it goes 0.25, down arrow goes negative 0.25, left arrow goes negative 0.25, right arrow goes 0.25. I jump back into Unity. Everything seems to be working correctly. So at this point, I believe my feature to be complete. So I go back into SourceTree now, stage everything that's left. It's just meta files, which is fine. And then go ahead and commit those changes. And at this point, I have successfully merged master into my branch. So notice here, the master branch, which is this pink color, has now been merged into the blue branch, which is the Dana W branch. So now Dana W is sort of the lead branch at this moment. That's it for handling simple merge conflicts. Stay tuned for our next tutorial on creating and merging pull requests.